Healter Skelter.
When I was a teenager, I loved going to the record store. I would pick out an album, bring it home, and absolutely immerse myself in it. First it started with vinyl, then tapes, and then CDs. In any form, it didn't matter to me. I loved breathing in the smell of a freshly opened album. I'd lose myself in those records, almost inhaling in the liner notes and the lyrics and looking at all the cool photos of the band while their music played. I was absolutely mesmerized by the general art of the whole thing. When I was little, I grew up listening to and singing along with my mom's musical theater records. Records like Oliver and Annie and Hair. And with the bridge of Andrew Lloyd Webber's Jesus Christ Superstar, I graduated to concept albums. Concept albums, they were the best. I loved them, like Tommy, Bat Outta Hell, Ziggy Stardust, and The Wall. They were all answers to the two giants of the genre, Sgt. Pepper's and Pet Sounds. They were like little mini musical movie soundtracks with imaginative songwriting, interesting narratives featuring formidable poetry and art. And the music. Music, it sounded so dangerous, and I was attracted to that danger. It's what I wanted to do with my life. I wanted to be a recording artist. I wanted to make records like those. And I wanted to make rock and roll dangerous again.
I'm a chicken, man. I'm one of the underworld guy.
Hi, my name is Jimmy Dowd. And I gotta tell you, I was in trouble. A lot of trouble. It was 2011. I was now in my 40s. And shit was not going my way. Not at all. I was supposed to be a rich, famous rock superstar by now. And that couldn't be further from the truth. Instead, I was a deluded, busted, broke, bitter artist. If you can even call me that. I was totally obsessed with becoming famous, and it was my total downfall. Hell, John Lennon was already dead by 40, and as far as I was concerned, so was I. And on top of all of that, I had just got diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. For those of you who don't know, MS is a slow, debilitating disease that takes you down physically, mentally, and spiritually. Needless to say, I was frightened and I was angry. I couldn't perform live anymore, so I quit. Actually just quit going out altogether. I wallowed in my own self-pity for years. I drank too much, ate too much. I was lost and desperate. And then I had an epiphany. I knew what to do. I needed to get back to my music. I needed to make that concept album I always wanted to make. I couldn't perform live anymore, but I still could sing. I still could play guitar terribly. I had a general knowledge of how to record stuff, and I still could write songs. So whatever I did, whatever became of this, if it became serious, I knew I'd have to pay people to perform it for me. I wasn't even there yet. First I had to write it, then I had to record it. And I needed a concept. It needed to be a concept that connected all those great concept albums that I loved with the musical theater records I used to listen to as a child. It needed to be arduous to exercise my mind. It needed to be honest. And it needed to address the malignant, spinning chaos in my psyche. I was resolved to take all those horrible feelings in my head and turn it into something artistic. Paint with the dark colors. What the hell was I going to write about? My initial idea was to write a soundtrack to a movie or a book. Something scary, like a horror movie or a thriller book. But what scared me? What terrified me as a child? I was really never really that afraid of monsters. And then it came to me. Charlie Manson. Charlie Manson scared the shit out of me. I've been fearfully obsessed with him since I saw the made-for-TV movie Healter Skelter when I was 12. It was based on the bestseller by Vincent Bugliosi and Kurt Gentry. It became so clear to me. I'll write a soundtrack to the book. So I bought the book, and I read it for the first time. It was filled with references to all my favorite acts like the Beatles and the Beach Boys. It was set in the late 60s, early 70s, which was a time of great social turbulence. It made the music sound dangerous. It was perfect for what I was trying to do. It It was named after a Beatles song, for God's sakes. So I read and I read. And as I read, I would highlight little bits and phrases from the text to inspire song lyrics. It was quite an arduous exercise. One of the highlighted bits was from a testimony by Susan Atkins, recalling her first meeting with Charlie Manson. The story goes, he let her borrow his guitar, and he said to her, "You can play that if you want to." It was like the book was calling out to me. You can play that, Jimmy, if you want to. You can do this. I said, damn, it's on. I'm doing this. But I knew I couldn't do it alone. So I reached out to a longtime friend, honorary big brother, mentor, and fellow songwriter, Kevin McCann. Before we knew it, we had a double album worth of songs about Charlie Manson and the Manson family. Who'da thunk? Stuff came out so good, we decided, hey man, we gotta get this professionally produced. So I reached out to another honorary brother of mine, producer, arranger, and guitarist extraordinaire, Zeev Shirlev. We would post rough drafts of our songs on YouTube, and we were met by an overwhelming excitement about what we were creating. In fact, London playwright Nicole Judy Varden wrote a full musical theater piece based on songs from the album, but that's for a different episode. What we are up to now is this thing is finally ready to go live. I've mastered Act 1 of the album. You can hear it on Spotify and YouTube and all the major streaming services. And I've put together a team consisting of Kevin, Nicole, my son Colin, and myself to produce a live showcase of the Act 1 album, start to finish, just like the greats. But we need your help to make this a theatrical event. We are looking for financing to secure a venue, pay for light and sound, and to pay the performers. Our goal is to raise $14,000, which would meet our budget. Please help. You literally will be turning my nightmares into dreams. It's going to be a psychedelic, theatrical, rock and roll, horror musical extravaganza.
We are looking to do the showcase at the Belmore Theater and Playhouse, located in Belmore, Nassau County, directly across the street from the Long Island Railroad, so you Long Islanders and Manhattanites can both get there conveniently. You will be watching and hearing some great musicians, along with Broadway and theater leading man, Mig Aisa. We've also signed up actor, composer, and drummer Kyle Bren, along with touring New York City jazz singer Savan Arbel. And maybe we'll be throwing in a few surprises. It's going to be a great night. Our ultimate goal is to showcase this sometime in November, possibly the week before Thanksgiving. We will be announcing ticket sales on all social media platforms. And if you pledge to our Kickstarter, you'll be the first to know. Thank you, and hope to see you.
Hi there, I am Nicole Varden, and I am the writer for Healter Skelter the musical. We have a selection of rewards that will accumulate the more you pledge. That means the more money you put in, the more rewards you get. You can pledge $10 just to show you believe in the project. $25, get a link to the live stream. $50 will get you the digital album. And $100 will give you a showcase producer's credit. For $150, you will get a link to the professionally filmed showcase after the event. For $250, you will get an exclusive seat at the show. And whatever amount you pledge, you will get a certificate that says you helped make rock and roll dangerous again. Every donation means the world to us. You're not just helping us take this to the next level, you're also showing us that you think it's pretty cool too.
If any of this excites you, please consider donating. All the proceeds go directly into the showcase. The more money we raise, the more we can do. The more experimental we're going to be able to get. Thank you so much for listening. From Kevin, Nicole, Colin, and myself, I can't wait to see you at our psychedelic, theatrical, rock and roll, horror musical,